Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in. Friday, April 17th edition of the show. This is Winning Cures Everything. I'm Gary.
I'm Chris.
And we got several things to discuss today. Nothing too crazy. Chris, you went straight from my house back home to do a show.
Yep.
We are still social distancing, just so everybody knows. But I've got a leak in my shower, and Chris obviously handles everything that has to do with flooring and all that kind of mess. So he had one of his guys come out, check everything out. He's going to give me a quote. And, hopefully all this stuff will be fixed, and I'll have to I could get to finally take a shower in my shower as opposed to running upstairs whenever I need to take one. So that's the plan anyway. So, good stuff. Obviously, if you live in the Memphis area, hit our boy up, Chris at winningcureseverything.com. They do good stuff. All right, so lots to talk about today. Nothing major, really. Hey, before we even get started with that, first off, winningcureseverything.com is the website. Make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform suits you. Whether it be the podcast or watching the show. Obviously, we're on Twitch and Periscope. That's at Gary WCE on those. But we're also on YouTube. We're also on Facebook. Both of those, Winning Cures Everything. Just do a search for that, and you will be able to find it. And on the podcast, Winning Cures Everything is there. If you haven't noticed already, we have a nice new cover photo for the podcast. So go check it out. We've got a new logo that we're slowly implementing into everything. I think it's going to be good. If you've been watching the show on video, you already see it. So we're kind of rebranding, stretching things out a little bit. It's going to be fun. So with that said, next Thursday, we will be doing a live stream of the NFL Draft with our buddies from the Westlot Pirates podcast. They are a Northwestern Big Ten podcast. And they are incredibly intelligent and know a lot about this stuff. And we did it last year. It was a resounding success. It was fantastic. So we're looking forward to doing that again. We will probably start around 8 p.m. Central Time. So make sure that you tune in for that. Make sure that you've got that going on. While you're watching the draft, you can also tune in with us and listen to our comments on what has already happened up to that point. And everything that will happen after that. This stream will probably go about 2 hours, so it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to go from about 8 p.m. through the rest of the draft, at least the first round. I don't think we're not doing it on Friday, right? Friday or Saturday?
To my knowledge, no.
No, I think that might be a little bit too much. But first round, always worth talking about. Always a lot of fun. Make sure that you jump in on that. Get in your chat stuff. Get everything ready. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be a good time. So now that is out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the topics of the day. First topic, Michael Jordan's documentary is coming out. And is it a Michael Jordan documentary, or is it a documentary of the Bulls?
Nope.
Okay, so this is Michael Jordan, and it is called The Last Dance. It is Sunday night. They're doing a clean version on ESPN2. They're doing a version with all the naughty words and whatnot, not bleeped out, over on ESPN. I cannot wait. Jordan has already come out and said he thinks that people are going to hate him after seeing this documentary. They're going to think he's an awful person. I look at things a little bit differently. I look at it as, you're a winner. We don't really care what type of person you are. Everybody is still going to love you. I don't think it's going to change.
You don't care. You don't care. A lot of people do. How many people jumped off the Tiger Woods train when he was screwing around his wife and all that stuff came out?
Yeah, but do you think this is going to show?
But it took him a decade to come back.
You think this is going to show anything like that? Like, cheating on your wife and stuff is one thing.
How is it any different? It's his personal. It's just the way if he's an asshole, people will judge him for that.
Maybe so. I don't think it's going to be nearly
we
the
live
type
in a
of
world where everybody's soft, man. People are thin-skinned, and they want. Here's the problem, Gary. We want to be pissed off about things, and
True.
right now the only thing we have to be pissed off about is politics. So this gives them something to be pissed off about.
Yeah, but I feel like the majority of people already know these stories. They already know that he punched Steve Kerr in the mouth. They already know that he was a jerk to his teammates.
I disagree that the majority of people know these things.
Maybe the majority of
you way overestimate the fact of what people know about Jordan.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Matt jumped in. He said, sup. He said, hit X to lie, Cartman to Kyle. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, I feel maybe I'm completely wrong. I feel like people already know that Jordan is a jerk. And I don't think they're going to judge him any more harshly for this. Now, I could be completely wrong. And
I just don't think people know him at all.
Maybe
at
not.
All.
That's yeah. Matt said it's a South Park. Yeah, I know the South Park. I know who Cartman is. I don't know. I am looking really forward to this though. With no live sports, anything like that, this is something to really look forward to. I think the ratings are going to be massive. Are you looking forward to this at all?
I'm looking forward to it just because we grew up in an era idolizing Jordan and loving him the way we did. But I don't think, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm interested in it. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
That is what I'm talking about.
How many part series is this? It's not just a one night thing.
No,
right?
it's like 10 parts. Matt said it's
better than. Are they going to release one a day or is it every Sunday for a week?
They're doing 2 on Sunday. And it may be for a week. I think they're releasing like 2 every weekend or something. I think that's what I don't know for certain. I'll try and find that. But yeah, that's their plan right now. Is they're releasing 2 of them, like the first part and the second part on Sunday night, and then they go from there. So I don't know. I think the ratings are going to be insane. Matt said it's better than replaying old games or simulations of games.
Oh, yeah, no, documentaries, well done documentaries are great. ESPN has been known for doing great documentaries. They do them well. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good.
I think so as well. All of their 30 for 30 stuff has been fantastic. So, I do think.
Well, but even when they did like the OJ doc, that was awesome too. I mean, they're really good at this.
It's every Sunday.
Okay, so every Sunday they're going to release either an episode or 2 episodes.
They're doing 2 episodes every.
That's
going
to be annoying.
Yep, 2 episodes. So episode 1 and episode 2.
We live in a world where everybody's stuck at home and we binge everything, and now it is, drop an episode a day. If they dropped an episode a day every day for 10 days straight, it'd be awesome.
They're let's see. Here's how they're doing it. 9 p.m. Eastern, they do episode 1, and then 10 is episode 2. The next week, they do episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. The new ones are always going to come out at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, but they are going to play 4 episodes. Matt jumps in. He said, gets people talking about sports, people to try to politics, like Chris said. Look at the new shows that come out like Tiger King. Yeah, 100%. Tiger King, though, you could binge it really quick and be done with it in less than a week. And then it just...
And then you got to spend like 3 months of your life hating yourself.
That's true.
Wanting to self-mutilate and kick your own ass.
You've got that right. You've got that right. Let's move off of that. Let's move into something that's a little bit of a bigger topic here. The NCAA is waiving admission standards for incoming freshmen. The standardized...
But don't they have to?
I think so. I think this was just like a formality because they're like Mississippi isn't requiring standardized testing because they let out before they got to do the tests. So,
I would think nobody has taken – a lot of people take them as juniors and they take them multiple times as a senior. But the entire spring semester, nobody took where the bulk of them get taken, ACTs and SATs. Nobody took them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you do it at the end of the for the most part, at the end of your senior year.
Yes.
So
most people take them in the spring semester of their senior year, and if nobody took it, then you can't require it.
They've still got some requirements, obviously. What the story says from Mark Schleybaugh, students who expect to graduate from high school in time to enroll in a D1 school this coming academic year will be academically eligible by earning a combined 2.3 grade point average in the 10 NCAA-approved core courses, with a combined 7 in English, math, and science prior to the start of their senior year. There's a 2.2 GPA requirement in 10 NCAA-approved core courses for D2 schools. The same GPA requirements will apply to international students, and they must complete at least 10 core courses prior to the start of their senior year. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff is there. There's just no SAT
athletes,
or ACT.
Right? This is for athletes.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like it's this is for athletes. It is also for admission standards across the board are being lowered, and some places like Stanford that typically have a really high one, they're not going to require it at all. Like they understand that the financial problem is going to be major. If you were wanting to go to a big time school, you are going to be admitted this year if you want to go there.
We never really covered the like varsity blues thing, and these people paying really all this crazy money to get their kids into schools. I find this very strange. I think most of that stuff was going on in private schools because state schools will take anybody. Yeah. Even most private schools will take anybody. You might come in under academic probation, but I was a dum-dum, and I got into a private school, and I got no student aid. I got no help. I will say this. They'll take a check from anybody.
Well, they will, but there is a limit on the number of kids that they will allow on campus, right? So at the University of Alabama, they are not admitting as many kids as they could. Like at Alabama, they don't have a single kid that has made less than a 29 on the ACT. Now that is going to change this coming season, but it's been like that for the last 3 years at Alabama.
Not a single kid.
Not a single kid. Now, so obviously, it's different than football. I'm just talking about the regular student body. Obviously, athletes are different. Athletes get in basically wherever they want to, dependent upon what the school wants. I was just
about to say.
Yeah.
I can name some kids for Alabama that I will bet my life they do not have a 29.
A 29, yes. I guarantee that, yes. So, yes, the requirements are lower for athletes. They want to get kids in because sports are the front porch of the university. But the regular student body, if you're just coming in as an academic student, those requirements at bigger places have, some of them, it's gone up. Some of them, it's gone down. It just depends on how many people are trying to get into the university. Since Nick Saban came to Alabama, their admissions have more than doubled, and they are able to kind of pick and choose who they want. So long as you got a really good football program, I mean, LSU is about the same way. It's.
Nah, he might get in at LSU. I don't
maybe.
know if I agree with that. I think right now, tomorrow, if I wanted to go to college at Alabama, I'd get in.
I don't know.
Yep.
It depends.
I might not get student aid, but I bet they'd give me a class. Every one of their classes aren't booked up.
Yeah.
Like they're not at max capacity for every class they teach, and they're not turning down money. They're not taking somebody's tuition check and saying, sorry, we don't want that. They're going to find a way to let everybody in who wants to come in because they want that damn money.
Let's see. Matt said in the Cal State system, the state government said let as many in as you can. Then after a few years, many students could not make the grades to stay in, and the schools hurt because of it. So, yeah, I think it's different per state.
Well, yeah, that happened to me. I went to a private school. I got let in, and they took my money. And then after 1 year, they were like, all right, we tried. You came in under academic probation. Time to go home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It happens.
And so, for those that are just joining, because I just saw a slew of people coming in, we were running a little early today. I have to go get my daughter. So basically, every 2 weeks, we're going to be doing this earlier than 4:30 on Friday. just the way it's going to be for a little bit. And honestly, sometimes it may change anyway. I think next week we're going to have a guest on from the Westlight Pirates, and we may go earlier for that as well. So keep that on the docket. Kind of make sure your notifications are turned on if you're wanting to jump in on the show. Otherwise, you can always grab the podcast afterwards. But yeah, the NCAA waiving those admission standards, I think it's just a formality.
Yeah, it was predictable.
Yeah, because there was no way that they were going to require that when a lot of these kids aren't able to take the stupid test anyway. So right. you just got to roll with it for a season. We'll see what it looks like next year. But these are unprecedented times, so we just gotta roll with it, I suppose. Next topic up: Banner Society and SB Nation, their college basketball, college football coverage has been furloughed from May 1st through August the 1st. Now, we're not going to talk a ton about this, but, you know, it sucks. But you could have seen this coming a mile away. And this isn't the only company that's going to be doing this. Vox Media owns SB Nation. And where most of SB Nation's money comes from is from their podcast. You can get a ton of people to visit a website. But if you don't have really good contracts with different companies, you're not exactly making a bunch off of website clicks. It just doesn't work like that. Unless you're Peter King and you got millions of people reading your stuff every day, right? So you need something more than just that. You need podcasts. And with podcasts, the way that you make money is through advertising. Well, in a situation like this, with an economic freefall, the first thing that a lot of companies do is they cut some of the fat, which they think that advertising is the fat. The truth is, you've got a lot of people out there looking for content right now. Now, it may not just be podcasts, but
the advertising is fat because there only certain businesses are making money and working right now. And so those people don't have to advertise because they're the only game in town. Amazon's not advertising with anybody. Why?
That's true.
Because they're the only game in town. Kroger down the street's not advertising because we know they're open and nobody else is.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is the people who are advertising, who would normally advertise on podcasts, are not, because they're not essential businesses.
Or they're cutting back on how much they're actually spending with these companies. Yeah. So that's that's the way it goes. But yeah, Banner Society, one of my favorite college football content creation teams, with Spencer Hall and, Every Day Should Be Saturday, that bunch, Jason Kirk, and the PAPN guys, Richard, I forget, Richard Smith, is that it? I forget. Either way, Richard and Alex that do PAPN while Godfrey's out on paternity leave. Those guys not going to be doing anything for the entire summer. Right now, they've all kind of offered to go on other shows and whatnot just in the meantime while they're not doing anything. More than likely, we'll probably get Jason Kirk on. We'll get some of the other guys on with us just to keep them busy, just to keep them doing something. That's my plan anyway. So we'll see. I've already reached out to Jason. Hopefully he'll hotbound with us at some point, and we'll have some nice college football conversations while he is not working for Vox Media. An interesting part about this, though. Vox was going to just cut the staff. They were just going to completely cut the staff, and Vox Media, the workers formed a union last season during football season, and they formed a union to have a seat at the table. This is what they said, especially during rainy days. Well, right now it's pouring. Together we will able to avert layoffs, save jobs, enhance severance, and more for our members. They said, while we appreciate Vox Media talking to us in good faith, we don't agree with the company's decision to furlough employees, especially after hundreds of us told the company we were willing to take wider pay cuts to save all jobs. So we fought for strong protections. We want a guarantee of no layoffs, no additional furloughs, and no additional pay cuts through July 31st, along with enhanced severance for any layoffs that occur in August through December. The company also agreed to reduce the number of furloughs. Our wins for the furloughed employees include full cost of health insurance paid for with copays and deductibles reimbursed during the furlough, buyout option that adds 4 weeks of severance to our CBA guaranteed severance, and a guarantee that they will not be replaced by contractors. None of this would have been possible without the solidarity of our 350-plus members. We are mobilized and we are united. We urge Vox Media to work with us in the future, should the need arise, to prevent layoffs and further furloughs. Matt jumped in on YouTube. He said, worst time to stop advertising is when things dip. Everyone spends money when times are good. You have to stay on top of it, even in the bad times. I agree, 100%. But that doesn't mean the companies don't cut that advertising. Is what it is. Chris, you got any thoughts on the topic?
Oh no, I just disagree. I mean, I just don't. I don't think that's right.
I think that you can cut advertising some, like a lot of these businesses can. I mean, obviously restaurants are closed down. Like, why would they advertise? I mean, there's no point to. You start advertising back when you do whatever. But these online businesses and whatnot, Manscaped and whatever else that you hear on every podcast,
but a lot of those places are still advertising.
Yeah, a lot of them are, but a lot of them have cut a good portion of their advertising. So that's where it becomes a problem is, okay, well, you're still, but they cut their advertising because they see a dip in people buying. And, I mean, it could be because there's 22 million people in the country right now that are unemployed? Is that what it is? I mean, you're going to see a dip. That's the way it goes.
I mean, congratulations. You built a brand with people that have no money to buy your product. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
good job.
It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I get it.
We want to make sure our demographic is strong for advertisers. That's a big thing. Hopefully we've got a very well-educated, financially conscious demographic. I'm hoping that's what we've got. If not,
you can be broke and dumb and listen to us. That's fine.
Yeah, you can listen to us too. It doesn't matter to me. But I am hopeful that you guys are taking care of yourselves. That's what I want. That's what I want. So I want everybody. I want the whole world to listen, but we'll see. Either way, let's go ahead and jump into our last topic of the day. We're going to talk a little NFL draft. The question is, where do we want the quarterbacks in the NFL draft to land? Now, this is what would be the most fun for us, what we want to have happen. Now, we're going to go through what, top 5?
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing top 5. I think we've got the same top 4, and we've got a different one for the 5th one, each of us. But we're going through and listing where we would like for them to go. Now, this has nothing to do with the draft. It's not where we think. This is not a mock draft. This is where we would like for them to play. That's the plan.
I have one that is a possibility, and some would actually say a probability. Outside of that, none of the rest of them matter.
I've got the same thing. It's a combination, right? Because there's the completely never going to happen type stuff that we can talk about. A lot of mine is, the possible, still kind of unlikely. Either way, we'll get into it. Go ahead and give me your number 1. I'm guessing you've got Burrow, right?
So I got Burrow.
Yep.
And I didn't do the boring thing to say go to Carolina because Joe Brady's there. I think that's predictable. I think that's boring. And I also think that Teddy Bridgewater is good. I try to put these in places where I think these places need a quarterback, and the quarterback could greatly change. So I picked a franchise that I grew up loving. Okay. It's a place that's near and dear to my heart, super close to them. I love them to death. I think the Chicago Bears are a quarterback away from being a great football team. I think Mitchell Trubisky is that bad. And I think Foles isn't going to be that much better. And if a guy like Burrow went into Chicago, he could be king of the Midwest.
Yeah, okay. I could see that. That makes a whole lot of sense. I went Panthers because of Brady. I think Burrow could be better than Teddy Bridgewater. I think what I'm hoping, and what I think the guys at the Panthers are hoping is that Teddy Bridgewater is a close version of what Burrow was last year. Now, if he reaches anything close to that, they'll be Super Bowl contenders. It's just ridiculous, right? But I don't know that he is. I know what I saw Burrow do last year, and I know what he can do with Joe Brady. I would love to see it in the NFL and just see if it translates. I believe it will, but I would like to see it. So I don't know what Burrow would be like under a different coach. Obviously, his first year at LSU, no, he didn't have the same prep time, all that. His first year at LSU was nothing like his second year. What he did at Ohio State was nothing compared to what he did at LSU. He didn't have as many chances. Now, I think he will be given the reins at Cincinnati, but do I trust that coaching staff to be able to take advantage of what all he's able to do? No. But I know what he can do with Joe Brady. I would love to see him with
Cincinnati as the head coach.
Yeah.
And not that I'm a Nagy guy, not that I'm a firm believer of the Bears head coach or front office for that matter. I think that team is really good. I think the team's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand it. Who have you got number 2?
So I got Tua, and this is the one where he actually has a chance to really go there, is the Chargers.
I put down go ahead.
No, I just think that team is pretty talented from top to bottom. The downside of this is they got a bad offensive line. The other downside, here's why he would fit perfectly for me, is this is a team like Washington where every year they just fall apart with injuries. The one place they've never had hurt is the quarterback. And I just figured, hey, let's get a quarterback we can get hurt.
Yeah.
We all other 22 starters end up going down throughout the season, 21 starters. It's time for that guy to go down too.
Yeah.
So, but if he can stay healthy, they got weapons, man.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think Mike Williams is a beast. Now, I've had people tell me that I way over exaggerate the greatness of Mike Williams. I think that guy is an absolute star and an unbelievable talent. So, you know,
it's what's the other guy's name? The
Hunter
other
Henry's the tight end.
No. The other wide receiver, the kid that played at Cal, Keenan Allen. Yeah, he's a stud as well.
No, I said Keenan Allen. Great.
Yeah,
but Williams is younger. Williams is substantially healthier than him usually, and just far more athletic than Keenan Allen's ever going to be. I mean,
Agreed.
he's just he's
both,
like a Mike Evans type guy.
They both got great hands. They both got fantastic hands,
though.
and yes, you're right. Hunter Henry. I mean, they got weapons all over the field. They got great running backs. They do need to work on the offensive line.
They got like a 22-year-old calling plays. I don't know what that guy is.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
That worries me a little bit. They got a head coach that could be a moron, could be okay. I mean,
he did win 12 games. Not this past year, but the year before.
Loaded, man. God, that team was loaded.
But
that team was loaded.
But they're still loaded, and that's the thing. Like, I think they could still be really, really good. Their defense.
Hang on now. They were loaded with what I believe to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
True.
They don't have that right now.
That's true. But if Tua comes in and plays up to his potential, doesn't get hurt, all that kind of mess, they could keep on rolling. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Number 2 for me, Tua, I had the Chargers as well for all the same reasons that you were talking about. I did have the Steelers as the other option, if only because I know Big Ben will eventually be gone. There's very little competition other than Ben in that locker room, in that quarterback room, and the Steelers have weapons all over the field. I mean, they're just loaded at receiver and all the skill positions. So I would love to see him there. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I would love to see him there, if only because of my biases, right? Let me go on and do my number 3 here. Justin Herbert. I want to see Justin Herbert go to the Patriots. He wasn't.
Boring.
Wait, say what?
That'd be extremely boring.
Yes, but I think that him going to the Patriots would be fun to be able to see him develop, because I think that he would develop well under that coaching staff. I don't think Herbert is going to be good really anywhere that he go. He would have to go to Kansas City or somewhere like that where you see quarterbacks being developed regularly with coaches that can develop these guys. Herbert, he's got all the size, all the measurables, all that kind of stuff. If you actually watch his game film, he has not been very good. I think him going to the Patriots, I don't think that he would play right away, but you let him sit behind Hoyer, learn the offense and whatnot. By the middle of the year, I mean, you got a stud in there that's got he's the same size as Brady. He's, all that. I think Herbert to the Pats would be the best fit, and for me, the most fun, because I think it'd be good for the kid.
Have him go somewhere and let him sit on the bench. That's fun. That's exciting. That's what we want. We want to do this because we think it's fun. Yeah, go sit on the pine.
Okay.
Nothing creative at all. I think Justin Herbert would be really fun and really good in a place like Buffalo, because that is a team that all the leaders are on defense. And so you don't have to come in and control the locker room. And they've got just enough weapons for a guy like Josh Allen to look good at sometimes, but he just can't help but to Josh Allen it up and be a moron. I think Herbert would be unbelievable there. I think Herbert is the definition of stability. Okay. The reason a lot of these teams are going to like him, and it has nothing to do with his size or his measurables. He is stable. All right. Okay. He's not going to throw. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Okay. He's crazy smart. He's going to learn your playbook. He's going to learn your system. He's going to work within your system. I think he can make all the throws. Is he 100% on every throw? No. But the athletes that he's going to play under in the NFL are pretty damn good. Okay.
That's true.
These guys have bad quarterbacks throw to them all the time, and they make plays. Justin Herbert's far above average. He's light years above what I think of Josh Allen. And I think if he was go to the Buffalo Bills, they would be a contender right now for the Super Bowl.
Okay. You know what? I could buy that. I could really buy that. Who you want to go on with your number 4?
My number 4, Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the YOLO of this draft, I believe. I think this is the kid that you only live once. Let's take him. And if he works out, he's going to be great. And if he doesn't, guess what? I think you'll know in a year.
Yeah.
Are we drafting another quarterback next year? That's fine. I actually like that. Being you've had this conversation before, I'm not afraid of high risk, high reward guys because I believe that is far more valuable than Andy Dalton, where you draft him and you know that he's never going to be bad enough for you to fire him, to move on from him, but he's never going to be good enough to win anything. So I don't want that guy. I want the guy that can either shoot the moon or go kneel. I need you to either be terrible or be great. That's it.
And I think that's what Love will be.
I think Love is that. I think the perfect team for him are the Titans. Throw Tannehill to the curb. I'm not sold on that guy. Tannehill is the definition of what I'm talking about. He is going to ride the middle of this thing all day long. So he's going to do just enough to not lose his job, but never anything great enough to get you over the hump to be elite.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with that. Tennessee does not seem like the team that wants to be a middle-of-the-pack team. Let's get a YOLO quarterback in here, and let's find out, are we great or are we not?
That's an interesting that's a great spot to try that out with. I like that.
That's the perfect team to do it with.
I mean, if you're going from that, I mean, if you're the Cowboys, maybe you let Dak walk and you take Jordan Love at that point. You know,
that would be a good spot too.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of. We have a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL. We don't have many great ones, and I think that is boring.
Yeah, you may have a very good point there.
Everybody is sitting in the middle of this lukewarm pool.
I put Jordan Love with the Dolphins for the same thing that you were talking about. The Dolphins, I think, are still building, but if you have a superstar quarterback that can fling that thing around, like the Dolphins do have some weapons. Like they built it from the ground back up. They've got some guys there. They started playing well at the end of last season. Now, a lot of that had to do with whether or not the other team cared, I guess. But, you know, I think they've got a good coaching staff. Their offensive line, not great right now, but Jordan Love is incredibly mobile. You know, you got a guy in there that can make plays happen. If you just let him go in there and fling that thing around, I think he could be really good. I mean, you could see the Dolphins fighting for a playoff position if he's good. Like, they don't have to have a great offensive line for a guy like that. So I thought the Dolphins would be a good fit for him. And, I mean, they could take him back at 18 or 26 or whatever it is because I think he's going to be there. So, you know.
That's why I kind of like the Titans is I wonder how married are they to Tannehill. And is this
they paid him a lot of money.
I know that. So.
I don't necessarily like it. I mean, they're the hometown team. I don't think Tannehill was all that good. I mean, imagine, just think of that. I mean, he threw for less than 100 yards in 2 playoff games that they won.
Yeah.
But threw for less than 100 yards in each game and got a $130-something million contract.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
I want a guy. That guy will never win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This guy might not either, but guess what? I'm going to know in 5 minutes if he don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to know real quick. 1 year, we're going to waste the season. Sorry, he ain't no good. Next year, we'll just get another one.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Kick this guy the curb.
I'll give you my number 5, and then I'll let you close us out. My number 5 is Jacob Eason. Now, there's nothing really fun about Jacob Eason.
This is why he is not my number 5.
But
he is Andy Dalton.
God, I bet he hopes he's as good as Andy Dalton, right?
Well, I shouldn't say that. Andy Dalton made playoff games with some really shitty Bengal teams. All right.
Yeah,
So
I'm telling you, I think the Patriots would be Super Bowl contenders with Andy Dalton. I really do.
oh, man, that offense is bad, man. That offense is bad.
I know, but I still think the Red Rockets still got some zing in that thing, man.
It's not a quarterback problem for them.
No, it's more than that. But also
they need to fix that offense.
I still think that they can. I think that they can.
Bill's not going to do that. He's not going to go out there and spend money on offensive players.
No, he's not. But I mean, you never know. Give Andy Dalton N'Keal Harry and a healthy N'Keal Harry and Sonny
AJ
Michel
Green and N'Keal Harry ain't that.
Yeah, but he at least made it to the playoffs with AJ Green. So
we don't do that.
Yeah, you got a valid point. So Jacob Eason, for me, I think the most fun situation for him, maybe not for him, but at least for us as observers, would be going to Atlanta.
I thought the same thing when you said you were doing Eason. I was like, bring it back to Georgia.
That's what I want.
Ran out of.
I want to see, because he left Georgia, and it, yes, he lost his starting job. I get that. I think he probably could have won it back.
He lost his starting job to injury, and
then
I
left.
think Kirby had moved on from him, and he was just like, all right, I'm just out.
Yeah, I'm just out. I'll go back home to Washington. But if the Falcons were to draft him as the heir apparent to Matt Ryan, that would be a lot of fun. Now, I know Matt Ryan's still got some years left on him and whatnot.
He'd be the same as Matt Ryan. They're both incredibly boring.
Oh, incredibly boring.
Just insanely boring players.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you. But I do think it'd be a lot of fun to see Georgia fans that are conflicted. Now, I might think the same thing with Justin Fields next year, right? Like, I'd love to see the Falcons take Fields because I want to see Georgia fans that are also Falcons fans have to pull for the guy that left their school. Like, I just think it'd be fun. Who have you got for number 5?
And then took that team to the next level, by the way.
Yeah, that's 100%
They had
true.
one of the best seasons in history of college football, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
That would be fun.
While Jake Fromm couldn't get him back to the playoff.
So my number 5 guy is a guy that we all agree is fun. I got Jalen Hurts, baby.
100%. Yeah.
And this is the Patriots quarterback if you want it to be fun.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels is the one guy in the NFL that said, I could do something with Tebow. I could take that talent. And Jalen's a hell of a lot better thrower of the football than Tim Tebow was.
Oh, yes.
Hell of a lot better thrower. So this is Tebow like 7.0. All right?
Yeah, I agree.
If anybody can keep Jalen as a quarterback and teach him to build an NFL offense around Jalen, I want to see Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick. And I actually think Bill wants this, by the way. I've said this. I don't know anything about the man. I think he wants to find a mobile